The Scale Podcast, episode 8. Let's
What up,
get it.
what up?
What up, bud?
What's fresh, bruh? It's been a while.
Hey, it's been a minute. Sorry to the subscribers, the followers, the subscribers. Welcome back to our channel, guys.
Don't do those things, bro.
Yeah, so when we were chopping up the possible topics for this episode, you had mentioned that you wanted to start with the new Cassper Nyovest album.
Nyovest. Yeah. I figured it was something that I've had so many conversations about it, and I only gave it a listen like a couple of days ago for the first time. Yeah. I'm like, if I can just jump straight in with my opinion,
Go ahead.
Like, I'm in one and a half minds about it. I'm kind of happy with it. I'm kind of happy that he took the step that he did with the album, the direction he went.
Yeah.
But within the album, I think there was, he was trying to cover a lot. He was doing a lot was happening. Lots of genres, a lot of, let's get something from there, but we need that one. And we need that thing as well. Then we ended up with the track. How many tracks on there?
Let me just look quickly. I think it's about 20 something. It's the new wave now. 20 tracks is the new wave.
So, yeah, I mean,
we're sitting on exactly 21 songs.
21 songs. So for me, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to having a story happen, beginning.
Yeah.
Let's get the intro, let's get the meat, let's conclude, let's be done with this thing. Whereas this feels a bit weighted for my opinion. I can't listen to it once. I can't listen to it in one sitting. If I'm going to give it the time of day it needs and the thought process, I'd probably need to do half and then another half. I was doing it in the car while I was driving, but if I was to sit down and focus, it would have to be one half, break,
then another half. Do you not think your opinion is influenced by the kind of music you make?
It's influenced by the kind of opinion. Yes, by the type of music I listen to as well.
Yeah. But I will have to agree with you when you say there are a lot of sounds on it. Cassper's not new to being, what's the right word to use here? Aware of the many different sounds and the many different sounds that can pop and actually, push him to where he needs to be. So I think that element of the album is not new. He has done it before where he, takes, top 10 different genres or different subgenres in hip hop, so to speak, and then he adapts it. You know what I mean? The album itself, I could feel that. I could hear that the production was mostly done by Ali, which he did a great job on. I mean, the sound was different compared to all the other albums. I mean, whereas he'll have Gemini coming on with the trap vibes, making it rock, and then you'll have whoever coming in, and then,
How many tracks did Gemini have on this one?
None. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can hear. It's more on the musical side, you know what I mean? It's more Ali strong point, keys, melodies, arrangement and all of that. So the only thing I didn't really vibe with was the influences were obvious. The influences were very, 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 very obvious. You could hear, like, if you play a song, like Egyptian Cotton for one. Fantastic song. Mm-hmm. But if you know Rick Ross and you hear that song.
And you know Justice League.
You know what I mean? So it's like the influences were very, 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 very obvious. I don't think a lot of interpretation was done on that end to, sort of adapt. I feel like it was more interpreted than adapted. You know what I mean? It wasn't changed. It was just, they took not the formula, but they took the structure and the direction of all these different sounds, even the drill thing. That song with Busiswa was dope. I didn't expect Busiswa on a drill beat. That was crazy. That was nice. That was really nice. Yeah, man. The obviously the highlight will be the Nyuga remix with the whole Mutsako gang. That was cool. It's not a bad album. Like overall, it's not a bad album. I just feel like because we have a certain ear and we listen to music in a certain way, we're gonna pick up on stuff like who influenced the album, you know, who produced on the album, or you know, who mixed the album. You know what I mean? But for the general consumer, it was a decent album, man. It was a good album, man. I mean, he does what he does best when it comes to albums. He tends to be more emotional, more tell the story behind all the trending topics and all the whatever, which is a fantastic strategy because people want to know what's up, and that will equal.
We like news.
Yeah, that'll equal into streams. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Shout out to Cassper, man. I mean, if there's one thing he did again is get us talking about it. He's very good at making us talk about it. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think any hip hop album has had the same impact this year. Because his one was like, yo, everyone was like, yo, this is what's going on this album any minute now. No. So yeah, that's him. Also, the marketing leading up to it was great.
That was dope. How you touched on mixing, but you literally said like one sentence there.
The mixing.
Let's go back there.
The mixing. I think you should go first on this one.
No, I went first with my overall opinion. You jump in first.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. It just felt like, you know, just that glue, that final glue, man.
There you go.
I mean, especially with Nasty coming out with crispy mixes, bro. That album, technically, when you're speaking mixing and mastering, you cannot talk shit on Nasty's album at all. From second number 1 to the last second, that thing sounds good. Like, just technically, the balance, the vocals, everything sounds amazing. So, when you play the Cassper album, it just feels a little...
Does it feel like there were a multitude of people that mixed it? Like, different people took different songs?
No, it was one person who mixed it. It was I forget his name. Lava something. Lava Wam Rapper, I think it is. Sorry if I forgot your name, bro, when you're watching. Yeah, Lava Wam Rapper, I think his name is. Apparently he's been mixing all the other albums, but mixing and mastering, as I think this is the one on the, you know, lesser side, the more not as, you know, well. It doesn't sound like it's, yeah.
I've had a gripe with Cassper's mixing from the beginning, though. Right from
that explains it, because it's been the same guy.
From the start, yeah. Right from the beginning. We're talking Dok Shebeleza Kushe, because that's when I was first exposed to him. When I heard those songs, and I was like, okay, nice track, huh? And you know, you try and find a better version out there somewhere. Maybe it's a bad quality MP3, but you eventually you get it and you hear it. You're like, but no, I'm not enjoying what's happening.
That's just how the song sounds.
Exactly. So I felt the same with this one here. I kind of expected it. In fact, I expected it to be better. I expected now.
Yeah, with all the.
We've got the resources. People are more than happy to come and do work for you. Give them their racks. Let them walk away with the project. Let them treat it well. Let it sound glued, balanced, all those nice words, and bring it back to us. But unfortunately, I think that's one place where, again, there was this, which track was it? Where it just sounded like there was a reverb preset.
The reverbs, I was about to say, the reverbs there.
Man.
Yeah, the reverbs, they feel, I don't know, dog. It just doesn't feel. I can't tell you technically, because technically I can't tell you what or no, maybe or pre-delay or what, but those verbs just feel, I don't know, man.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I mean? And this is something that I've gotten from people who aren't engineers. They don't engineer work at all. One guy was a rapper, another one was just an enthusiast. And you heard it. He's like, why does it sound like there's stuff happening? It's a bit much. I forget the name of the song. I haven't, to be honest, there's some tracks I've only heard like once, but it sounds heavy. The tail just sounds like it is yes, it sounds hella long.
What songs, bro? Everything. Maybe you use the same decay time on everything to try to get a consistent feel. Maybe. But another thing is that I did see that Cassper was in the studio when they were mixing it. So, as an artist, you don't consider things technically. You don't think, oh, maybe this verb might be too muddy in the end, or maybe this verb might whatever. He was just like, yo, turn it up, or turn it down, or I want more of that, less of that, and my voice is on bigger. I want my voice, you know what I mean? So maybe there is some sort of creative justification behind it, because I mean, if you're at Universal, you're recording at the Universal Studios. Those guys have engineers by the boatload, bro, on speed dial, that you can get in to be like, yo, let's go. You know what I mean?
So essentially what you're saying is this was by design. It wasn't a mistake.
This was by design. This was not a mistake, because he was in the studio. He wanted it to sound like this. I feel like us, because remember when we spoke about mixing and mastering quality of SA music, we don't have templates. We don't have a South African, this is how South African reverb sounds, this is how South African mixing sounds. So we were comparing it to most commercial music, and there's somewhat of a standard, you know what I mean? So I think compared to all the other songs that we've heard, all the verbs were nice and tucked in, we weren't hearing them as prominently as we are in this guy's album. And I mean, it could be carving a new lane for mixing.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
It could be carving a new lane. But personally, those verbs are doing something. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like there's like vacuum and there's like toilet, and his was like, he was still too close to the one side, you know what I mean? It needed, I feel like if you just tighten it up, like you were saying now, just bring it in a little bit, help us out.
Like, it wasn't horrible. It was a little bit too long. Like, it was
and we might be nitpicking, but
yeah. I mean, we're going to have to mention the good and the bad. I mean, lyrically, he did come through. I almost said he came through Shem. Anyway. Yeah, he did come through. Yeah, man. Shout out to him. Any minute now. Congratulations on his new son. Shout out to the boy. Still chowing. 10 years later. I don't know how long he's been in the game. Yeah, but that's many years. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Another person who has been trending, catching headlines, Mr. West, Mr. Kanye West.
Yep.
How you feeling?
Yep.
The buzzword of the industry lately, masters. Buzzword of the industry, masters.
Yep.
Yeah, get into it.
That's actually, I'm glad you said it like that, because a lot of these conversations I've been having about Kanye West in particular, people mention masters and ownership of masters, and no one really knows what the word means. Well, the guys that I've spoken to, I'm like, okay, cool, let's take a step back. When we're talking about masters, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about the songs? Are you talking about the copyright? Are you talking about, are you talking about the composition? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yes. Also, we might not know what he's talking about. He might actually be referring to the composition, maybe not necessarily the master recording. And okay, so there's that side of things where I'm like, okay, cool. We need to contextualize what we're talking about to understand. But on the other side, there's a part of me where I'm like, okay, cool. We need to now start talking about what's okay and what's not okay to do. We need to bring up the question of mental health again, which is another big thing in the industry. These are all things that now will then play into that. So from a legal standpoint, what he did, I don't know how he's going to finesse this, but doing this, having pages of your, let's forget about the
contract.
Whole Grammy. Forget about the Grammy for a second. We've got because that's already a spit in a lot of people's faces. But with the whole revealing of your contract, already there you've done things. So
he's got leverage.
Okay. All right.
He's got leverage.
What do you mean he's got leverage?
He's fucking Kanye West, bro.
No, he's got fame.
Legally, he's got leverage, bro. Because legally, okay, let's take it back to the beginning. Culturally, in the culture, he's Kanye West.
Okay.
Arguably top 10 biggest names in hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Step 2, financially, he can rock. If Universal says, let's go, he says, okay, let's go. We can rock each other in court for the longest. It's fine. Step 3, if an artist at that level is getting quote unquote finessed, Universal is going to play it very, very safe. You understand? Because
You're right. So
it's public interest now. It's out there. It's like not MT, it's Java and Ambitious. They were playing it very safe because they already had a history of MT saying, hey, what? You understand? So now if another big artist is like, yo, Oaks, peace, you understand? They can't just be like, yeah, we are suing you, we are taking your house, you know what I mean? So it's gonna look bad on them.
Is it though?
It is. Bro, right now, independence, I strongly believe independence within the music industry has never been stronger.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Independence right now.
Yeah.
Independence right now is where it's at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for as much as the labels control the game, the independent spaces are pushing and the artists are pushing as well. So them playing someone like Kanye dirty, you at the not lower but like not as big of a level or as high profile as he is are gonna start thinking, hey, if they can dribble that bro, I need to release myself here. You know what I mean? I need to make sure I cover my ass. So for them it's like, yo, we're not trying to like spread negativity within the organization and the label. So we really have to play our cards well here. We can't just say, okay, yeah, Kanye, we're suing you, we're rocking. They can't do that. So for him, as much as he did maybe break a few nyana agreements in the
no. Don't downplay
as much as he did
Don't downplay. That is the problem.
At least even if he like broke a few nyana, you know, laws nyana in the contract for the vibes and just to
oh man.
and just to you know and put it out there. He did something that was very important, bro. As much as he broke the contractual agreement, he needed to do that for him to be taken as seriously as being taken now.
But and this I want to find out if someone has gone through this, because Kanye West is Kanye West. You said, nah, he's got fame, he's got leverage, he can get lawyers and do whatever. Why is he pulling them in now? Because he's got these contracts that he received at some point that he filled out, he signed, he supposedly read through. These papers were his. He's had them for all of these years. He's had all this information. So I almost felt like from a certain point of view, it's almost like he's playing himself and showing that he didn't do the research. He's always talking about how he does the research, he does the education. He didn't do the research, he didn't do the education, because the way it's coming out now is like it's new news. It's like, oh shit, I'm getting played. Bah, and he puts it out there. Now we're all kind of thinking, but dude, this is a contract that you signed.
He's pulling
you did this. Is what?
He's pulling a Keenan. He's pulling an a.k.a. on us. A.k.a. waited until it was chai for him to say, yeah, Vele Reebok, yeah, what, yeah, Vele, yeah, they didn't pay me, wah. For the clout, for the numbers, to push his other brands. You understand? And now, have you noticed how within all of this mix, he's now including, yeah, Adidas, yeah, Puma, yeah, I want to go this and design that, yeah, wah. You know what I mean? So part of me feels like it could be strategic. Because like you're saying, he's not stupid, bro. You don't get to $1 billion by being a Popeye.
You don't guess. You don't guess.
Yeah, you don't just wake up and stumble onto $1 billion. You understand? So I think with the next stage of his plan or the next stage or the next move he wants to execute, either A, he doesn't need the label anymore. Or B, he just needs serious hype and people to get behind him. You know, because I mean, he hasn't really been hip hop's favorite person, especially after the Donald Trump stuff and wah. So for him to garner support again, or get back into the good books, or get the right numbers for the next move, or you know what I mean, he needs You understand?
He needed something
lights,
like this.
Camera, action. You understand?
Yeah.
Boom, fireworks, crackling,
yes.
poking. So
yes.
if he did do it strategically, that might be the reason.
So the one thing I would then also want to go back to is mental health. Something I had spoken about before. We know about Kanye's situation at the moment. We know that he will have these episodes. This type of thing is expected to happen. And I was speaking to a doctor, and he said the very same thing. It's like this. You get these two phases. One where he's calm or really down, and then the other one where he's gonna go into a bit of a manic phase. And essentially, it's like, look, it's gonna play itself out. Let's give him the credit that he deserves, because, like you're saying, you don't just stumble upon this position that you're in now. But let's also take into consideration that there's times when he needs help. He needs help. I'm not saying that they must go tie him up and go throw him in a room. I'm just saying that certain things sometimes it just feels a little bit too unstable, especially in moments like this. So I then also I struggle to get behind that, because I don't know that, because now my integrity is on the line. Because if I'm like, yeah, go Kanye, and then tomorrow he goes and does something really messed up, that's now on me.
Like you
you see what I'm saying? So
you're endorsing it.
Yeah. So I see that he will get those people. There's a lot of people like this. So we've seen it. There's a lot of people who are also kind of following the same thing, saying, no, he's woke, he's this, is that. But at the same time, it's a very... I just hope it works out. And if it has anything to do with the whole presidential thing, I don't know. I hope whatever he's planning here,
that could
works
be
out.
You understand what I mean? That could be another play at it. To be like, yo, if I'm going to save the country, let me start with my industry. You understand? But we can't totally neglect the mental influence of his situation. I mean, it's tough, especially like pissing on a Grammy. That's
this is what I'm saying. And even in the court of law, it becomes tough now.
Yeah, I don't do that.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, we get that you have a cry with your label. What does now? It's tough. I think, like you said, I mean, I can't add too much, because you hit the nail on the head there. I think, like you're saying, we can't disregard it, but we need to somewhat hope that he gets the right amount of help, because, I mean, he will need different levels of help and different amounts of help based on whichever phase like he's in, like you're explaining. Yeah, man, God bless Kanye West, but I am really grateful that he shed light on the situation. I feel like outcries against labels have been happening, but not on that scale, not on that magnitude where people actually go page by page and be like, yo, here's my actual contract. People have been crying, and I mean, now this will put so much scrutiny on any label trying to sign or retain or just operate going forward with any artist, because I mean, now people can cry wolf now and you'll trend, because I mean, it's a very touchy subject within the creative space. So yeah, man, Kanye opened the door for something that could be very, very crucial, like critically crucial for our industry. But the question is, at what cost to him?
I think with Kanye, he doesn't mind going down as a martyr for his industry. I died for my, not even like died, like literally died, but he'll become that guy. But there was right at the top of lockdown, people were talking about a recession, which has happened globally. But then they were also talking about how music goes through its different phases, kind of like when the LPs and stuff phased out, they brought in CDs, and from there we went to the MP3s, from there we're in the streaming age. Now we kind of gonna do it again. But they were saying that whenever there was a big shift in the music industry, it usually followed a recession. So essentially, we as musicians went through some kind of hardship, and then on the other end of the hardship, there was a new emergence of essentially new artists, a new way of doing things. The very same way with 2008, and then after that, streaming culture. The recession in 2008, then streaming culture. So we're kind of in that same space now where people are trying to still hold on to some of the things that they were doing before, but there's a whole new set of people now that are coming forward and looking, and they're like, shoot, how the hell did they get into a contract like that? Hell no. And then they're going in a completely different direction, and they're focusing on a completely different way of whatever it is. And then eventually what always happens is that the label, once they're done destroying that thing that they were at, they then come through, but with racks of cash, and then they take over the next thing, much like they've done now with streaming and essentially social media and everything. So
the question is, what next?
That's for us to now decide.
I can't see it. Yeah, I can't see it. Like, I really can't see the next play. I can see a whole lot of ownership going forward. But ownership of what? Ownership of which kind of medium? Ownership of what kind of strategy? What kind of, breakthrough innovation for the industry? Because, I mean, from streaming, what's left? Where do we go from streaming? So
yeah, it's a good question. It really is a good question. I have no idea. I'm looking around and I'm like, is TikTok really the thing now? Is this what we're doing next? Is influencer challenges? Is this the next thing?
The apps, bro. I think the apps are. If I had to take a shot in the dark, apps, social media, digital world. That's where we're rocking. If we can find virtual reality, that vibe for music, that side. Because it's already online, and like you're saying, the streaming game is captured. So we need to find a new medium. It's either that or we come back to physical, so we can control. On physical, there's no streaming farms. There's none
a CD is a CD.
CD is a CD, imagine.
Yeah.
CD is a CD.
Yeah.
So a unit is a unit is a unit. Now you don't have to divide by 120 to get 1 unit. Now 120, my G.
Yeah.
So you sold 20K, you sold 20K. Bro.
Exactly. But then every single place will have its downfall. Like with CDs, we had piracy and ripping and that type of thing. The streams, you've got the stream farms and all of that, and it's nice, it's super accessible, but the issue is now for the artist, look, people are earning percentages of come on, percentages of a cent.
Yeah.
Imagine. Yeah.
That just shows how rigged the game is, because only to make a substantial amount, you need to clock millions of streams. To clock millions of streams, there's a cap. Once you boom at 9-10 million, they're like, you come down. Or they start blocking certain, So it's tough, bro. It's tough. Yo, speaking of it, sorry, I just thought of this now.
Yeah.
Scorpion Kings. They put out a plaque. They got a plaque for, I think it was the first 3 albums. I stand to be corrected, I think, but it was 3 albums. I think it was the first one, second one, and the live one. They rocked 63 million streams. 63 million. Damn.
Yeah, that's
63
massive.
million. Shout out to them. Just wanted to say shout out to them, man.
I'd like to see what that would look like in physicals, if that was still a thing. What it would still look like in terms of physicals.
Bro, that's like Master KG now. Master KG is good. He can delete FL. Grand. That guy doesn't have to make another song
ever again. You're right.
Grand. Dog is grand. That guy clocked platinum in France. Before, like the royalties here, before the royalties in Spain, France alone, platinum. So you're already clocking platinum up at their standards, and our standards are not the same. So for him to hit platinum, that's what means he sold a significant amount. Also, a significant amount in a different currency. You see what I mean? So by the time that money says what, plus Samro says what, plus Capeso says what, my G.
It's good. It's good for a long time. Also, when you're president, talks about
you. Understand? Yeah. You understand? Imagine the numbers he's going to do today alone. Today, not that's today.
Just today.
Not
it'll be huge.
Today,
but now also with your streaming platforms, they are now your certain streaming platforms are now making it a little bit more strict with regards to taxation. I'm sure you've seen now with certain streaming platforms. Well, I'm sure it's most of them. Countries are seeing, because it's global and you've got all these different countries all around the world, you have one platform and you've got multiple people going into that platform from a specific country. What's essentially happening is you've got all of this money that's being earned by a company that was created in your country, but the money is going out anyway.
Outside.
Yes. So they're like, hold on, wait, why is there so much money leaving our country? We need it here. Therefore, it's fine if the money goes out, but we're just going to hit you with tax. Bro. So now you've got companies, I know DistroKid is one of them, where for you just to pull your money now, you have to essentially be a taxpayer and you have to complete a tax form. You have to do things properly so that as the money comes through, they zap you. And there it goes. And money like that, I mean, I don't know what the tax is looking like, but we're looking at quite a large percentage. I'm sure it's probably maybe a quarter.
We already taxed high in SA, bro. Now they want to tax us again.
Yeah. So now that gives rise to, the first thing I thought of was a lot of clients don't have, well, a lot of my clients in particular don't have ID numbers. Not ID numbers. They don't have tax numbers. They're not clued up with regards to, like, what does it mean? Why are they taking my money? They don't understand. So I was just thinking about it.
And how much are they supposed to take?
So I was thinking about it, and as much as music has gone global, a move like that makes it geographical again. It makes music
because it's per region.
Yes, it's per region. So already there, all that means is if there is a South African version of DistroKid or CD Baby or whatever it is, and we pop up here and we're like, yeah. Then we're like, don't worry, guys. You're South African. You're here. If money comes in, it plays. We've got you. You're good. You don't have to do all these funny things. The money is, we know it's coming into our country, so we're not going to slap you guys as hard for tax. And that kind of opens up another lane for a South African version. It would actually work. My fear is that they're going to start doing it for your platforms like BeatStars and Airbit, because I would have to go get another job.
Running now. You see, that's where the real money is playing. I think. With that being said, we need to stop giving people fire ideas for free, Silas.
Yeah, bro.
Please. Anyway, we can't fight that. I mean, that's just legislation all around, you know. So I think we just need to be creative. Be creative, man. Where there's a problem, there's potential to come with a really dope solution. But tax is tax, my G. They're going to catch you either now or later. So give the man his money.
Do your thing.
Keep rocking. You know what I mean? Give the bro his money, you know? Because now it makes it difficult for you. Now you want to hide the money, bring it through your cousin who stays in where now. Give the bro his piece. Take your money. And then we move, bro. We move. But now also, these challenges are instigating, like you said, a new level, a new era of music, a new lane for people to now want to actually diversify, like the means of selling and making money. So, like I'm saying, bro, the app stuff, someone needs to find something to do with music and, you know, DistroKid and inside. Trust me. Trust me. That's
be you. Let's do the things, bro.
Silas Beats. Actually, let's end this recording and talk to you about something.
Okay.
Episode 8. Shout out.